Was good, yeah. So yeah, it's update time, and yeah, the update hit me like a truck. So what am I referring to? Besides all the smaller changes, Void Rift Auto and all that good stuff, Arena. Arena now has a new rank called Apex Overlord, which only includes the top 200 Overlord players. And what I did was, in preparation for this update, actually farm myself up to around 2,200 points. But what I didn't calculate in was it was in the notice. It was pretty clear that they reset your defense. They take out your auto fight and you need to log in and then fix up your defense again because it's not going to work. And yeah, so what happened is I ended on 2,200 points. So that's when I went to sleep, around 12 hours ago. 2,200 points. And as you can see, we got pretty much this is around the time when the update hit. So we got pushed down to 2162. And as you can see, even the arena changed. It changed from anti-air to, I believe that is either single target or sustained. I don't know. So that's pretty much before reset. They changed the arena type from anti-air to this one, and I didn't have a defense. So we got defeated here, going down to 2162. So yeah, then bad luck continued. As you can see, we went from 2163 to 2146, 2028, 2112, and it seems like, oh yeah, you have a reasonable amount of points left. It's not that bad. Let's have a look at the actual arena. 2076, 59, 46, 29, 2000. Here we won a defense somehow. I don't know. As you can see, it changed back to AoE Arena. 2010, 1994, 97, 94 back. We won a defense. 97. So I woke up to almost getting pushed out of Overlord. I lost a total of 230 points. Yeah. So that was rather unfun. And I pretty much I knew the changes to the arena. So if you don't know, now it's all about killing the enemy waves, and then Soul Cadence is going to punish the enemy core based on the difference between you killing the wave and them killing the wave. So the longer they take, the more core damage they take, and they also reduce the damage the mobs do themselves. So the main damage comes from actually Soul Cadence blasting the enemy core or your core if you're slower. And then I spent the 5 arena fights I had and around 300 diamonds trying to play around with, as you can see, testing out stuff. So we lost here, but then beat the guy. And yeah, I was trying to get a feeling for the new arena, so I could like make a quick video like this one over here, talking about the new arena. And that's what I was waiting for, 2 arena fights, because I don't want to spend any more gems. So yeah, let's talk about arena. If you don't use Idril, you lose. Unconditionally. In this new anti-air DPS arena, if you don't use Idril, you lose. And that's a fact. It is that simple. So, from all the heroes I played around with, I mainly played around with Araka, Silas, Idril, Dolores, and then a Laurel. So, trying to restore rage for people, but now I went with the hard set, because yeah, wave wise, there's a couple of waves. You really need to make sure you kill everything before it goes past your defense, because the moment anything goes past your defense and you don't have an Idril already, you're done. You're legit done. It is. I don't know. They said it's going to be more fair and all that good stuff, but if you defend at the front, what you need to do, because you want to kill the enemies faster so the enemy core takes damage, but if you let even one guy slip, it's game over. It's legit game over. But yeah, just to prove it to you, this guy obviously has way higher BP than we do, but he doesn't use an Idril, and I'll prove to you why Idril is actually that important. And I know a lot of people are curious, so let's go over the gear. Honestly, this gear is nothing to go by, because it's pretty good gear, because we're trying to aim for Apex Overlord, aren't we? So Araka's just running a curse set, pretty much just so she can do the most damage possible without much ramp up time, because we do place her fairly late and against a lot of enemies. So curse set is going to instantly give her that 30% buff. Furthermore, we have a Rammed here just because that's one of the only real fighter damage things that's viable here. I might swap it to a Frigid Flame, but for the moment I keep it as a Rammed here. Then Silas. Silas on the Spirit Siphon, A5 with a Araka, so I got unreasonably lucky with my Silas. And yeah, stat wise, we are running double crit damage, 1 attack percent, and then an attack set with some extra attack speed, pushing him down to 1.1 seconds, as well as running 46% rage regen. That's mainly because of the way you use them in Guild Boss, and also probably the way you should build your Sealers, because you do want pretty much as much rage regen as possible. And then we have a tag flat sub here. Yeah, now onto the main contributor. Idril, where are you? So, my Idril is pretty much running the same as Sealers, but not quite. Actually, we are running double attack percent. Main reason is we do want the most damage even outside of a Dolores buff. So we're running double attack percent. 1 crit damage piece just for that extra damage in the Dolores buff, and then attack percent set with some attack speed, obviously to then make her attack faster. And as you can see, we interestingly have a minus 0.8 seconds. That still gives us 1.1 seconds. I don't know. Math ain't mathin', but I ain't complaining. And then artifact wise, I am actually going with Bloodbond Signet. I thought about it a bit, and I feel like Bloodbond Signet gives the best impact, especially working together with double attack bonus, and also like pretty much the most damage straight off the bat, allowing you to kill the enemy faster than they can kill you. And what someone might have seen is I also tried using Nyx. I even went as far as to invest some skill crystals to get an ultimate max, but the biggest problem is she's too expensive. Like, in this arena, you can't actually afford anyone at 22 cost. It just doesn't work. And what I also thought about was using Araka and then adding this extra range and then 1 tile further, so she would be able to attack the enemies while they stand still. Yeah, now in a new arena, enemies stand still. And that's also the main reason for Idril. I mean, you're going to see it in the battles to come. So, yeah, she was kind of a flop. And that's why we're going to bring in Hatset. Not necessarily because Hatset is going to be super strong, but mainly because of the fact that Hatset is cheap. Especially compared to Nyx. She's like at half the cost, 11 versus 22. Preferably, I would want Ghastly Burst maxed out and Soul Torment maxed out, but I just don't have it at the moment. And yeah, what we're running is pretty much double crit damage, Soulbound Arcana set, again with attack percent and attack speed set, and then artifact wise we're running in Idril's case. So what I want to do is pretty much try to sneak in 2 crit damage pieces and through the help of an Idril's Gaze. So that's like the general plan, especially with the defense down. But yeah, enough talking around. Let's get straight into the fight. And I think I'm going to pause and then like try to explain why I place who, where, how, and why. You can't actually pause, so you gotta be fine with it being slowed down time. So Idril over here is mainly because we want to place a Dolores down here, so we can boost this tile over here if we come to it, and also because Silas is going to go right here and then allow us to actually attack here faster. So yeah. Now the important part about the Dolores, which I kind of forgot. Number 1, she's running an Invic set, so Idril gets an Invic buff. And number 2, as you might have already seen it, we are actually running Tumultuous Horn. So we're boosting Dolores Rage on deploy, just so we can trigger Dolores ultimate as fast as possible, allowing us to take care of those dudes faster. As you can see, Silas has the better damage here, but it's not going to hold, because look at the range. Even with an Araka, he's not going to reach. He is not going to reach this tile over here. You might be wondering, why should that be a problem? The biggest problem is an enemy is going to spawn in, and that enemy is going to wait right here. It is really devious. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for this one to die, and then trigger Idril, and pretty much easily take out this guy. while Silas is still dealing with this one over here, and he has nothing to deal with this one. See, Solkadance is just firing his core, and he can't attack it, which is why you lose. If you don't play an Idril, you lose. It is disgusting. It is actually disgusting. So he's already 26% down, and that is going to be fatal. So yeah, like I said, we're going to place Silas right here so he can attack as fast as possible and try to hit the enemies already over here. And also, we're not going to place him here because Silas with his defense pen doesn't really need a Dolores. He doesn't really need a Dolores to help him out. So yeah, he's still dealing with those enemies over here. It is I don't know, it is all about speed. The longer you take to defeat the bigger threat Solkadance becomes. It is really quite disgusting. So yeah, then we're going to activate Dolores just so we can attack a bit faster, make Idra a bit stronger. Yeah, so this round here is pretty slow, but I'm pretty fine with it. We're still a bit faster than the enemy. It's just one of the best combinations I've found. What I did try was, like I said, use a Lore here to boost Dolores, to boost Idril. But what ends up happening is that we'll face a wave of a lot of enemies, pretty similar to this one, but we won't have anything to play. So they're just going to rush past us. And like I said, as long as anything actually escapes past and your Idril ultimate isn't active, you're fucked. Like, it's game over. You even if you have 100% HP, as long as even one enemy is alive, Solkadance is going to burst you down. He's not going to give you a chance. So yeah, here we would then activate Dolores already because yeah, as you see, those dudes escaped, and this is game over for him. You need to defeat the enemies in the front, and that's the only way you can stay competitive. If you don't defeat the enemies at the front, you're going to lose out because of time. And if you can't actually defeat all of them in the front, someone is going to get past, and then you're just going to go from 100 to 0. That's like the two reasons, or pretty much the only reason why I've lost attack-wise. Where do we have that guy? So right here against Laser, one single enemy got past. I was an elite HP wise, and then I just went from 100 to 0. And the same shit happened here again against, I can't pronounce his name, right? So yeah, even though this guy had way more BP, no Idril, he lost the initiative from the beginning. And yeah, let's fight. Where's the one with the highest points at the moment? Setrum. Yeah, let's fight this dude over here. I don't really know what to think about this arena. Especially the fact that you needed to log in on reset, or as you can see, we got screwed over hard, right? I don't know. Luckily enough, as far as I can tell, the same thing is not going to happen on Monday, because you're just going to get reset to Plat 3, and you can't actually drop out of Platinum. So no matter how long or how much time you take on Monday to log in, you don't need to worry about getting pushed back to, like, I don't know, bronze, right? That's just not going to happen. And interestingly enough, they did go into that melee-based fight, but on reset, they swapped back to anti-air. So yeah, we're going to have anti-air until the end of the first Apex Overlord season, I guess. So it's pretty much here going to be the same thing. Taking out the enemies here. And I think we're going to actually activate Idris' ultimate here already, just so we can start attacking this dude faster. Yeah, so as you can see, as long as you don't start out with an Idris, you're just bound, not necessarily bound to lose, but look at this. There's no one that reaches, especially not at a cost. Because I thought about using an AoE marksman and he's going to reach because they get the extra range, but you can't afford 20 to cost. Like, if you don't start out with an Idril, you're going to lose. It is sadly that simple. Okay, where do we want it to play? Yeah, we will go like this. What I also experimented with was hard sit here first, but I didn't really, yeah, she didn't really seem to work that well there, so we're just going to go with sealers there. Basically, she wasn't impressing me in that position. And the main reason why I'm not necessarily placing her here is she's just going to have further reach if we place her over here. So she's going to reach this tile instead of here, just this tile, and she's still going to be in Dolores range. Yeah, here we're just going to activate Dolores so Idra is stronger, so we can defeat this dude faster. And as you can see, man is struggling. Yeah, and what we want to do, at least what I want to do, is try to save up Hatzit's ultimate, because the next wave, the wave after this one, is a crazy one. I don't even know if we can actually defend against that one. So basically, if this guy slipped through, we would have lost. If this guy slipped through and the enemy defeated all those, we would have straight up lost. It is. I don't know. I don't know what to feel about it. You gotta play high risk. You gotta play in front, but if you can't afford it, you're going to lose. But it's also not an option to play defensively, because if you play defensively, you're not going to kill the enemies, and it's going to take forever for them to get to you. So I don't know. You can't play offensively if you can't afford it, and you can't play defensively if you can't afford it. Like, it is weird. But it's better to play offensively because your chances of winning are actually higher. Yeah, basically, lesson, use Idril. We gotta see if there's going to be a new meta somewhere with some new heroes. Ooh, we got defeated in defense. So one big problem is also you can't really set your defense. If the enemy defense you're playing against is bad, like if the last defense you're playing against is just bad, it's going to fuck up your defense. And let's say you end your 5 fights on a bad defense, then you're going to also have a bad defense yourself, which is, I don't know, it's just bad design. You can't really determine what defense you want to use. If you play against a bad enemy and that bad enemy places his units all the way at the bottom, you're going to win by placing 2 units, and then auto cast is just going to fuck everything up. It's, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this arena update. Like, this Apex Overload stuff and all is like great, and we somehow made it back into Apex Overload by spending 300 gems. Is it worth it? Probably not. So yeah. Hope that helped out a bit, and don't forget to use an Idril or you're going to lose.